Yay, Diversion. I really appreciate you being here tonight because I haven't been going live in a while, and I mean, I really do appreciate your help. Hey guys, I'm just starting. Thanks for the taps. Thanks for the likes, Divergent. Oh, I need a massage. Hey, Brittany, baby, how you doing? Brittany, you're a mod. Let me see your mod status. Wait a second. Okay, I'm making you a super mod, Brittany, but you gotta be super responsible with all those powers. I'm just teasing. I would appreciate your help. If you can't, I totally understand. I have no idea where you're at or what you're doing. Hey, I just started, everyone. Let's have a conversation. Thanks for joining, everyone. I'm Gay Santa, 48-year-old liberal elder queer. I'm in Washington State. I've been openly gay for 30 years, and I'm pretty happy about it. And I'm pretty upset about what's going on in America. We're taking a huge step backwards, and people are feeling unsafe. People are worried about their rights and their protections. That's just the tip of the iceberg, really. That's just the tip of the iceberg. Anyways, I'm here to have conversations, guys. I'm a nice guy. I'm not gonna yell at anyone, and I hope nobody yells at me, right? Let's just talk about things, because I think the reason you all feel so strongly about this healthcare is because you don't understand it. You don't understand the medical condition. You don't understand the diagnosis. You don't understand how greatly it's gatekept, how much care goes into these kids, and you don't have the medical background to make these decisions, to go against medical science. You don't have that background. You don't know anyone that has this condition. A fraction of a percent, we're talking 0.0 something of a percent of kids are diagnosed with dysphoria. 20% of US kids go hungry. Why don't you pass a law outlawing kids going hungry? That's very much the thing we could do in America so easily, right? Y'all don't really care about kids. I don't get it. I want to have a conversation. Thanks for joining, everyone. I'm Gay Santa, 48-year-old liberal elder queer. I'm in Washington. How dare you vote to ban gender-affirming care for minors? How dare you tell other people how they can take care of their children? How dare you tell medical science, every major medical association, that they're wrong and to stop this? Why don't you worry about your own kids? Right? That's your right. You could shut your kids down. You could tell them how to dress. You could say that's for girls. You're a sissy, right? That's how it goes most of the time. Don't worry about those parents that are loving their children and getting them health care. Don't worry about them, okay? That's not your right. Thanks for joining. Give me some taps. Yeah, there's a lot to it. And we could stick around, because I'm going to be educating someone, hopefully, on what goes into this care. And I think when people understand the care better, they won't feel so strongly about it. And Divergent is a co-hostess tonight, and she is a parent of 2 trans kids, and she understands about dysphoria and about the treatment that's being taken away. Anyway, what other opinion is so intimidated that they have to be that way? I don't know what you mean by that. Pop-Tart says it's nonsense. I don't know what you mean by that. Have I taken my PrEP today? Yes, Danny. Danny in the chat. I fucking take my PrEP every day, sweetheart. I am fucking men left and right, too. Don't you worry about Santa. He's in a great place. Yeah, PrEP, everyone. If you don't know, PrEP is a medication that's been around for 12 or more years now, that you take a day. It's a pill you take every day, 99+% effective in preventing the spread of HIV. Did you know that in England, they plan on having no HIV in 20 years because they're handing the medicine out like candy? Any straight women in here, take PrEP, because your husbands are fucking people on Grindr. Best believe your husbands are taking it up the butt on Grindr. Get them on PrEP, everybody. Whoever that was, for saying take your PrEP. Very good suggestion. I take my medicines, guys. That's a medicine I'll gladly talk about, because it's something people need to know. People don't know you could take a damn pill and not get HIV. That was not the option when I was growing up. When I came out in a university, I was scared shitless of catching HIV. I was scared shitless of it. And it's terrible.
You are so incredibly pleasant. You know he only said that to be a homophobic ass, right?
I don't do anything pleasant or unpleasant. I don't know what you're talking about.
No, I'm just saying you are so pleasant. He was being a dick.
Uh, oh, I always try to flip it around or something.
Yeah.
Um, I'm so glad you joined. Hey, there's a guest request. Divergent, will you add the guest, please? I don't want to hit any buttons anymore.
Um,
Or if you don't want to hit the button,
well,
somebody,
no, actually,
Superboss.
so something happens on this account. What I'll need you to do is unmod me and remod me. When I get up in the box, it drops my powers for some reason.
Oh, that is weird.
Hi,
Hey, I'm Gay Santa. I'm 48. Can I get your age, please?
I'm 18 years old.
Okay. Let's have a conversation.
Got
Are
it.
you against gender affirming care for minors?
No, I was asking what gender affirming care is.
Okay. You know what, Divergent? Will you take this, please?
The very first things is just calling them by their newly found pronouns and chosen name. It can be wardrobe. It can be a haircut. That's the
Yeah,
really early stages of it. Then the next step would be therapy, where a
therapy.
therapist,
Why would
yeah,
why would they need therapy?
well, because everybody likes to roll through here and go, it's mental illness, they're delusional. And while transsexualism is diagnosable in the DSM 5, it is not, it's linked to the distress of the incongruity. And so, if I find a lump on my child, I'm not just going to take them straight to an oncologist. We're going to do what they call ruling it out. We're going to rule out all of the bad stuff. And so sometimes kids might not be sure. So we take them into therapy to make sure that they're not having a reaction to a divorce or they don't have some underlying depression or anxiety that isn't related to gender. It's to confirm that nothing else is going on.
Divergent, I'm going to greet Michael real quick. Michael, can I get your age?
How you doing? 40?
40. Awesome. Thanks for joining. Are you against gender affirming care for minors?
Yes.
Okay. Let's talk about it. What is your understanding, or I mean, what care specifically are you worried about?
I'm not particularly worried about anything because, as you claim, social or gender is a social construct and society democratically elected and chose with an overwhelming consensus not to accept gender ideology, which
Okay,
is
Michael, wait a second. I want to tell you, I truly want to have a conversation with you. I don't know if you've rehearsed what you're saying because I can't wrap my head around it.
not at all.
You said I said gender was a social construct. I never said that. I don't,
That's the consensus.
huh?
That's the consensus amongst a lot of the gender ideologues is that gender is a social construct.
Okay, I'm
First of
asking
all,
you, Michael, I'm
gender
asking you, what
isn't,
about gender affirming care? Go ahead, Divergent. I don't know if he's good
well,
faith.
no, if they come in thinking that gender is an ideology, that's already going to be tough. Um,
Sure.
it's not, and we understand from science and medicine and postmortem studies and brain slides and genetic tests and fMRIs that we're fairly certain that this is just who we are.
So I've been
Biden,
discussing this for
Biden, I know you're a troll. You're in the chat. Michael, I want to ask you, tell me what gender is. You're telling me I'm
yeah,
saying it's a social construct. Tell me the definition of gender. Explain it to me, please.
I'm going to go ahead and answer that, and then I want to ask, or I want to respond, and then ask her a follow-up question to her statement because there's a lot of conversation going on right now. But gender describes sex and species, which it always traditionally has. The definition of gender, um, you know,
Okay,
referred
well,
to
Michael.
adult human female or adult human male,
Okay,
and
Michael,
That's
so
Michael.
etymology.
Hey,
wait,
I
wait,
want to have a
wait. So
dialogue. Hey, I'm an old man like you. If I'm talking, I can't hear you. I got gay ADD, memory issues. I'm stoned. I want to have this conversation with you. Okay.
okay,
Gender,
go
gender
right
is
ahead.
not. Gender is not. I want to correct you because you're wrong about that. So the definition for gender is related to the sexes, male and female, but not the biological difference. The cultural, social, psychological differences. But the thing is, though, gender is a study, an academic pursuit. People spend their life studying about gender. There's always been males and females, but there's always been different types of persons. And there's always been trans people. There's always been trans people. So Like this isn't an ideology. It's actually science. And it seems to me that you don't know what gender is. So, Michael, if I were to say, tell me about being a man, that would be a conversation about your gender, how you want to look, how you want to present, how you feel, what it means to
No.
you. That's what gender is. It's not, oh, it's the species and their age.
Well,
That's not what gender is,
there's
Michael.
there's something that you're not recognizing here is that the observation of gender is strictly the societal observation of a male's development through their hormones, right? Hormonally, that's what drives men to act the way that they do. So we understand that now. And, what she was stating about the studies that have been conducted, there has not been not one study that proves her hypothesis. And I will tell you that,
Michael,
what
and
is true
conversely,
and
there's not
what
a
is
single
real
study to
is that
prove why you're
regardless of the
why you are
person's gender
cisgender
identity,
either.
hold on,
Hey,
Right.
everyone's talking. I
Right.
can't understand you. Thank you, Divergent.
Michael.
Michael, this is from the Mayo Clinic. I don't know if you're one of those conspiracy theorists. That's the deal. We can't have this conversation. Gender affirming care is medically necessary, safe healthcare backed by decades of research, supported by every major medical association in the U.S. 1.3 million doctors are represented by these associations. They agree with this healthcare as necessary, safe medical care. So,
well, that was because of the previous administration. You're going to see that within a year's time, that's going to change.
Michael,
That's
this
how
did not
society
all-
works.
we're
this
not
didn't
changing
just-
medical
this
science.
didn't
There's
just
Yes, you-
come
yes,
up
we
in the
are.
last
Change July
4
because
years,
of Trump.
Michael.
Shut your
Yes,
mouth
we
and
are.
listen some
That's
more.
the way.
You're wrong.
Unfortunately,
Shut your
that's the way
mouth.
science works.
Will you mute him, please? You gotta listen a little bit.
Yeah.
No
Michael.
way in hell do Republicans get to say medicine, you're wrong, change the books on medicine. How crazy is that you think voters who don't have any education in medicine should make laws about medicine and that's a good thing, right? And then you want to
Democracy
tell other
works.
people how they raise their kids. You want to tell other people how to raise their kids. And that's so un-American, Michael. You could ignore your kids. You could have your kids kneel on the ground and pray that their grandma doesn't go to hell for smoking cigarettes. That's your right in America. It's not your right to tell doctors how to practice medicine. It's not your right to preach about healthcare that you don't understand. You don't care about these kids' body. You don't care about their health or their outcome. I don't know what the fuck I think you care about how you feel about trans women. And
Do you understand it?
Huh?
If you
Explain
understand it,
to
then
me-
you'll be able to answer these simple questions.
Michael,
Sure.
explain to me how
Wait,
Can you
Yes,
please
yes.
pause between me and
all
you?
the liberals,
No,
all the queer
Divergent is
people,
talking to you now. Go ahead, Divergent.
All I'm asking you to do is answer some simple questions. If
Right,
that's
right,
what you're
right.
saying is
I-
true,
I-
you'll be
you
able
know
to answer
what?
these
Hey,
questions.
made a
Michael,
claim.
why are you trying to run my live? That's a little creepy. You could do your own damn live.
I cannot 2v1
Hey,
you guys.
hey, you don't tell me who you're going to talk to. If you're not going to talk to her, you could just go somewhere else and piss somebody else off because you're annoying and you're
Why
bad.
do I have to 2v1 everyone?
Oh my gosh, Michael,
you
your dream is to
You
2v1.
claimed it
Divergent,
had to
talk
do
to
with
him.
the last administration, Michael. Explain to me how the entirety, the whole collection of the alphabet mafia, if we are going to be very generous, makes up 10% of the population, right? But somehow that 10% of the population that wasn't enough to not vote the current president in, we somehow have taken over science and medicine and decades of research, and apparently we now are in charge of language and we published a dictionary. Like, how you
Yeah.
make it make
It's called
sense?
postmodern.
Because if we
It's called
were running the
postmodernism.
world, we would be under different leadership today.
No, it's called postmodernism, and it was actually leading since I would say the Obama era. But that era is over now, and society has chosen to shift away from postmodernism and back to traditionalism, which it should. I mean, I think that it's very destabilizing in terms of the ideology, and
What's
and
the
that's
ideology?
right. The funding,
What's the ideology?
the funding went to fund all these programs. that you're
Michael,
talking
I
about.
don't understand what are the ideology. You're straw manning us. You already told me that what I thought about what gender was. You didn't know what the fuck gender was. Now you're telling me what my ideology is. What's my ideology? Because I don't think you know what it is.
Sure, it's a postmodern ideology that somehow that people are born without identity, like gender identity, national identity, ethnic identity. These things are all absent in what you guys consider postmodernism, or what a lot of people might consider Marxism. It's the
earlier
devil,
when you were
guys.
steamrolling
Michael,
a bit.
I don't that you don't speak anything for me. I don't.
I do. Okay, let me ask you a simple question. Okay, so
I
do you
wanted to
believe
play the
that
etymology
gender
game with
identity
you, Michael.
develops
Okay.
in the fetus?
No.
When does
part
gender
of the-
when
the
does
part
gender
of the
identity
brain-
develop?
The
Your gender
part of the
identity.
brain does
Hold on, I want to hear from
obviously
most.
develop.
Okay, no, there's all sorts of medical science about the hormone washes in the brain, and when I said that it's not developed in the utero, it's developed when you're growing up. It's developed when you're a child. It's something that develops. It's the same with your sexuality. It's inherent, but it's something that needs to develop. Now, at like 2 years old, children can start recognizing men and women. By the time your kid's 4 or 5, they know if they're a boy or a girl. They don't know about genitals. They don't know about vaginas and penises, but they
Of course
understand
they do.
boys and girls, right? So I'm telling you, that's when your gender identity develops. I answered your question. You could say you're welcome or thank you.
Okay, now let me respond to that.
But
Can I respond to that?
the structures where those parts of us live, those particular structures are fully formed.
Well, if that was true, then you wouldn't need gender affirming care and hormone therapy to reverse whatever your body's doing. See, because the mind is plastic. There are plenty of studies to support this, that if your brain really developed a gender identity that was opposite of yours, it would cease producing the hormone that is
No,
making you
God,
the gender
that's not
opposite of
Michael.
how you feel.
Michael, that's
We
not-
understand
Are you
that.
an embryologist?
The
or
hypothalamus of a male
geneticist?
is always going to be twice the size of that of a female, regardless. I mean, they could do a brain scan and literally tell you what a woman and a man is.
Michael,
I'm sorry to tell you.
I want to say something real quick, and then Divergent, I want to hear from you as well. Michael, this is the thing. Here's the thing. I'm an old school queer. I initially didn't like the idea that people want to argue that that things are rooted in biology, even though I knew that there's been so much evidence that there's inherent things, right? The thing that really got my brain to be full on board with the science is they're making rats gay right now. Do you know that what they're doing? They're giving hormone washes to male rats, female hormone washes. These male rats, when they get older, they throw their ass up in the air and they move their tail to the side. That's what the female rats do when they want mounted, right? So obviously there's something going on in the brain. The great news is, Michael, there's nothing wrong with being gay or trans. Absolutely total win. If your child is gay or trans, they're going to be great people, right? There's nothing bad about being gay or trans. And then the fact is too, it's inherent. Like there's science that says it's inherent. And then you're trying to say some bullshit that if you were trans, your body could change its hormones or something. That's outrageous, right?
Santa, can you answer me this? If it was inherent, then how can these people go on to procreate and and pass that genetic information on to another generation if they were primarily strictly homosexual?
Michael,
Because we're
gay
not
people reproduce
infertile.
all the time, and it's also there's a lot of proof that it is like.
So they're
something that
bisexual. They're not gay. So they're bisexual.
Michael,
are you any
There's
part
no
of our
exclusive gays that are
Michael.
procreating and
Michael,
spreading
Michael,
the
I
genes.
have, I
Part
have
of our
gay friends.
community.
I have gay friends that got their lesbian friend pregnant with a turkey baster and has their kids. Right? Lesbians, gay people can reproduce. Queer people reproduce. Trans people reproduce.
Yeah.
Why-
Turkey
why-
basers
you want-
haven't existed
Michael,
for millions
Michael,
of years
why-
through human evolution.
Michael, Divergent, I want you to talk to this guy, but Michael, I wonder what's going on in your brain. I don't think you're being an honest person. And
I'm being a very honest
and
person.
for
I
someone
believe
that
that
is
you are
not
mentally
part of
ill,
the
and
community to
you are
come
in
in
denial, and you're
and
in
tell
like
us.
this
Michael,
state of cope.
Michael, I believe I'm mentally ill.
Because you understand that what you do is all you do is commit a sexual act. That's all. That's all it is. It's
No.
a sexual act.
No, Michael,
It's not a lifestyle.
Michael,
It's not. It's like somebody masturbating to their
Michael,
vehicle.
Michael,
It's nothing
that
different
would
than
make
that.
it
You're
not
wrong,
an
Michael.
ideology as well,
Divergent,
Michael.
get the mute button going, please, because I'm sick of over speaking this guy. You're being rude, Michael. You're not having a conversation. You want to tell gay people what gay is. That's crazy to me. If you want to know about gay, honey, I could teach you all about it. I really can. Michael, I don't know why you're in your feelings so much. If you have some questions, some good faith questions, you're not going to be pissy and loud, we can have a conversation. But you're wrong. Being gay is not about sex. You're gay without. I came out as gay and I didn't have sex for a couple of years. Right? I came out as gay to myself. I was like you probably. I was constantly saying it's sick, it's wrong, it's sick, it's wrong. You're not that way. You're not that way. And that was a terrible emotional and mental stress. And I am happy to be the person I am, having this conversation with you right now. So Divergent is I'm so thankful she's here. She has trans kids. She has 2
So
trans
you
kids.
almost got it right. You almost got yourself on the right path, and unfortunately, you ended up where you are.
Hey, you know what? I fuck beautiful men on a regular basis, Michael, and I'm happy about it.
That's.
I'm
I mean,
happy about it.
that's like saying I masturbate to my vehicle every day. It means nothing. It's meaningless.
Oh no,
It's a sexual act.
You know what? You know what else?
Michael, you're
It's a
It's
sexual
also
act, and
meaningless.
that's all it is.
Michael,
It's a
do you
sexual
know what
Michael,
else
you're a
is
weirdo.
meaningless?
That's so funny.
Is when cisgender heterosexual people come into queer spaces and tell us about ourselves and our community.
There's no such thing as a
But
queer space.
You're,
There's just
you're,
human space, right?
oh, you know
There's
what?
just human space.
You're going to call people mentally ill that you don't fucking know, and
right,
because they're
yeah.
homosexual, you're a ridiculous person. You don't have any human decency. Go fuck yourself. Divergent block this asshole. Thank you.
Oh, cry about it, faggot.
Oh, and there it is.
Oh, there it
Go
is.
suck some more dick, you closet case
There
motherfucker.
it is.
Oh,
Hey,
I'm crying.
Yep.
keep coping, faggot. You made the wrong choice in life.
Aw.
Oh man, guys, I don't know
It
why.
took a minute. It was not pulling up to block.
Oh my goodness, that I do have fun. This is a fun hobby, guys. What a miserable man. What a
Why? It's not full on
Wow.
sus
That's
if
a-
someone
that's a
thinks a
Christian
minor
Trump
is mature
supporter.
enough.
That right there is the typography of a Christian Trump supporter. That is the epitome of the
Yep.
people that made this decision. That guy was so gross and weird. He talked about masturbating in the car. Being a homosexual. I have loving relationships with people, and
I
I
hope
have
he doesn't do it near a park or a school. Why? Down there in the comments, that's the only name that they're using. It's full on sus if someone thinks a minor is mature enough to surgically alter their body. Do you understand that the handful of trans minors that get surgery is nothing in compared to all the cis minors that get surgery? But also, kids don't have their own fucking job and their own health care and their own car to drive themselves to the doctor where they make the copay and then go on to pay for their own surgery. You guys behave as if a child, I just looked at my kid one day and said, I'm bored, it's Tuesday. What do you think? Should we go to cut your tits off? There are so many people involved in the process of gender affirming care, and guess what? You're not fucking one of them. I am so tired of hypothetical parents that have hypothetical children that are hypothetically trans that think for a second they know what they would hypothetically do.
I don't know why they just aren't thankful that their kids aren't dealing with the trauma and why I don't get why they pretend to worry about other people's kids. And of course, the vast majority of surgeries happening to minors are not gender affirming surgeries. My friend went to a boarding school in Europe, and all the girls got nose jobs for their graduation presents. They all walked around with bandages on their nose. Anyway.
Yeah, why do you think you have any say about anybody's parenting? With the number of medical professionals that are involved in all of the steps it would take to ever get to surgery on the minors, they're all mandated reporters too. Therapists and physicians and nurse practitioners and physician's assistants, they're all mandatory reporters. So if they thought that the parent was being just super gung-ho about this and they didn't think that that's what the kid was right for the kid, they would be legally and morally obligated to report. Yet, Trinity, I am so sorry that you think blue hair is just a signal for liberalism. You guys also think higher education is liberalism, and in all actuality, K through 12, we learn shit, we test on it, we forget about it, and we learn the next thing. Higher education is where people actually are encouraged to critically think, to look at evidence of all sides and form an opinion.
And Divergent, everyone should know that the more education you have, the more liberal you are. There's a direct, very direct correlation.
Why Switzerland? Oh, I love when you bring up Switzerland. All these games, I love that. If you understood how to read an actual medical study, it would. Or are you talking about the Tavistock or the original one that says even after gender affirming surgeries, trans people still off themselves because if you knew how to read the study, it showed that they still had a very high risk of ideation and or attempts, and the reason why is because they gave them surgery and sent them on their way, and they didn't continue with a support network after. That's what the Swedish...
See, they keep jumping to that. See, I was gone that whole time, and they just jumped to that the whole time, too. It didn't say. Like, surgery for them is like, I don't know how to explain it. That's like the most rare form of care that they get.
The year that I have data on, it's a couple years old just because it takes a year or two for all of the information to come out. The number of minors that had plastic surgery was just shy of 70,000. It was like 68, 69,000 and change. Okay. But for easy math purposes, we'll say 7,000 or 70,000 because 7,000 of them, 10%, were cisgender boys that got surgery for gynecomastia. Now, gynecomastia has a fancy name.
Can-
However, oh, go ahead, Santa.
Oh, you know what?
Tomboys are
I don't
not
want to. I don't want to.
confused.
I don't want to interrupt you, because gynecomastia is a great talking point to someone that wants to
Mhm.
study gender affirming care. I want to answer why in the comments. Hurry up, dancing boys. What do you mean by that? What about confused tomboys? No one is telling their little girl that's climbing trees, hey, guess what? You're not a girl. You're actually a boy. This is your boy name. These are your boy pronouns. Let's get you in front of a psychiatrist and convince him that you have gender dysphoria, and convince that psychiatrist that you have so much distress in your female body that you can get all this health care. We could drag you around to all these doctors, get all this blood work and therapy, so you can end up with care that's going to hurt you. You are wrong. And honey,
You're
it's
wrong,
not
or
a
I would be a
femboy. Why?
man.
I hate
I would
that.
literally be a man if that was
Okay,
the case, because my dad tried to literally dress me like a boy. My dad didn't even want me to like boys. My dad wanted me to fucking like girls, and guess what? I like dudes. It
okay,
doesn't
I'm gonna.
So,
work.
I want
health
to
Pushing
say
stuff onto your
insurance,
I
kids
want
whether
to
doesn't
it
correct. I
be
want
work.
to
the
correct why
Medicaid
real quick.
system,
This is gross because I've heard this before. Why called children that are boys that are feminine femboys? A femboy is not a child that is feminine. That's gross. You need to understand the terms. A boy that's feminine is a
hmm
sissy. I was a sissy, sweetheart, and I was shamed and punished for being a sissy. Nobody said, "Oh, you're going to grow up to be a girl," and I didn't want to be a girl. I didn't want to be a girl. I just wanted to be myself.
Yeah.
Anyway,
I never wanted to be a boy. I just wanted
wait,
to dress like one. Tomboys and trans people have nothing in common at all.
right?
you know what? I'll tell you this real quick because I was thinking about this the other day. When my dad who would shame me for being feminine, he would take us to movies, and he was an antique dealer, among other things, a railroad engineer. But he had these. He wanted to bring food into the movie theater, so he had these old antique purses, covered in beads, and he gave one to me and one to my sister, and they were filled with burgers. And I didn't want to walk. I was like 5. I was so ashamed to have to carry that purse into that movie theater, and I was on the verge of crying, and I thought everyone was going to see a boy with a purse. That's terrible. If you think could you imagine going to your boy and say you're going to dress like a girl and go to school like a girl? You think that would actually happen? I don't think they have critical thinking. And thanks for letting me yap about that. I appreciate you.
That's okay. I just find it interesting that, like I said, just for easy math purposes, around 70,000 children that get cosmetic surgery every year. 1/10 of them are cisgender boys with gynecomastia. Now, gynecomastia can elevate the risk for breast cancer, but anybody can get breast cancer. Medically, there are no side effects. The reason why it is okay for those 7,000 cisgender boys to get that excess tissue removed and to get their chest reconstructed is because of the social and emotional distress it causes. The same exact reason why trans boys need a very similar surgery.
That's it. Could you imagine? Could you imagine your son growing knockers in middle school, and you're like, "Hey, that's what the Lord did to your body. There's nothing wrong with boys with boobs. Go to school and let the kids make fun of you. Be a boy." We got a friend request. Um, hey, I wanted to show you something, Divergent, real quick. Hey, somebody's muffling their mic. It sounds terrible. I'm sorry.
Oh,
Please. Oh, go ahead.
sorry, I was moving.
Oh, you're fine. It just throws me off terribly. This is a creator on TikTok. I don't listen to him very much because he does makeup stuff. His name is Anthony. This is a young man that had a very feminizing puberty. Um, and he's a gay guy. He does makeup. He's accepted his body. He's actually embraced his body. This is the kind of variation that can happen in nature. This is a person with you know what? He's never actually talked about his chromosomes. He's talked about having a very small penis. I've heard that. But anyways, so this is a severe case of gynecomastia. Could you imagine a boy growing those in school and what he must have went through when that happened. Kind of crazy, right?
Mm-hmm.
Anyway.
Yeah, allowing them or making them wait to hit the age of consent, which, by the way, just for clarification, 18 is the arbitrary number the country decided on for adulthood. In other cultures, puberty is what indicates adulthood. Like, there's all sorts of variations on this magic number of 18.
Hey, Morgan. Did you change your name? I have such terrible memory. Is it
No, no,
Morgan?
no. Yeah, it's Morgan.
I think I remember. Give me a second. Tell me something more, Morgan. It's on the tip of my old brain. Um, I think that tell me. There's something really interesting about you, and I can't remember it.
Oh, so yeah, I was actually hopping up because I noticed y'all were talking about the topic of boys being in middle school and growing feminine parts.
I
Yeah,
remember
no, that
now.
was me. Yeah.
Morgan developed breasts when he was in middle.
Morgan.
Go ahead, Morgan. I didn't. I just
Yeah.
interjected. Yeah.
Oh no, you're good. You're good. Yeah, no, I wound up with like a size double D, and my parents thought that Satan was punishing me for homosexual activities.
Well, clearly, duh.
I was, yeah, no, I was. It was horrible. Like even pastors were like agreeing, like you're dealing with the devil's lust, and he's turning you into a woman. So I guess just do gay things, and you'll transition. Is what
Ah,
I got from
Wow.
that.
Wow.
no, he wasn't on meds. Why? It's a gynecomastia is so common. Actually, it's like 70%. You could Google it. Hey Google, how common is gynecomastia?
According to Mayo Clinic, gynecomastia caused by hormone changes during puberty is somewhat common. Most of the time, the swollen breast tissue
Okay,
goes
it
away without
says.
treatment within 6 months to 2 years. Gynecomastia in adults. About
Oh,
24%
stupid Google.
to 65%
It gave me the
of men
percent in
ages 50
adults.
to 80 get
It
gynecomastia.
happens very commonly in children, but it's minor and it'll go away. They don't need any kind of. So boys develop a little breast tissue during puberty. That's common. In rare cases, they grow what full size, what resembles female breasts. Yeah.
My eldest, oddly enough, and this is I'm not going to go down this path because it's another crazy topic here. But my eldest child, assigned male at birth, was actually born lactating and began briefly lactating again when she hit the male puberty. So all of these arguments about it's unnatural, well, it happens. But yeah,
Unnatural.
right. Again, out of 70,000, 10%, we've got 7,000 boys that got their breast tissue removed. Nobody seems to be upset about that. Nobody seems to be upset. During that same year, there was, I believe it was 263 cosmetic surgeries done on trans kids, and one of them was bottom surgery, but it was bottom surgery there was a correction. They apparently had some ambiguity with their genitalia, and they had hit puberty and reached an age that they knew who they were. So when they went to go correct what wasn't definitively one or the other.
I was just looking something up on the computer. I am so hungry, and it's 9:30. I'm a morning person. I'm almost always awake before 5, no matter when I go to bed. So I need to get something to eat and something stupid to watch on TV. I think. Um, I had a fun time though, Divergent. I would love if you would co-host us more. And Spooky, I love all the modding, and I love you having you around. So and you could
Yeah.
co-host and chime in whenever you'd like to. And Morgan's. I know that you've embraced your breasts. That's pretty. I'm pretty happy for you about that. Actually, I haven't embraced my breasts yet, guys. I want them smaller. Make them muscly and smaller, or something like that.
Yeah.
Anyways,
Yeah, I've seen you rolling through a fair amount of lives. It's the first time I've seen you live in a while.
yeah, I know what. I'm not going to go on opposition. Like they would invite me up, and it's be I'm not.
I've seen some of the shit they have said and done to you.
Oh, it's outrageous. And the thing is, though, they're just unkind strangers, and Yeah, I'm just glad I'm not in their headspace, and I'm here with my full face out because I'm happy to be a good guy, and I'm not always a nice guy, but I'm always a good guy. So, anyways, yeah, I plan to go live more often. I was trying to focus on things, and I was also feeling hypomanic. If you know bipolar disorder, hypomania is not necessarily a terrible thing, but it could wind up to be a terrible thing. And I was avoiding being overstimulated and trying to make sure I was taking care of myself. So
Yeah, and I am a Gen Xer that
me
is
too.
ADHD, with a fair amount of childhood trauma that causes. We joke that it's control issues, but I am very hyper vigilant about a lot of things. And this week has been exhausting. Like I said, it's the longest year of my life this week. Um, the first time he was voted in, and I kid you not, on November 8th, I ordered half a dozen Plan B pills because my son hadn't had a hysterectomy that he chose to do as an adult before anybody in the comments comes for me. But because he was still intact, I knew the very next day that Roe v. Wade was going to be under attack. Um, so I have that pattern recognition, very
Oh,
kind of a Boy Scout, always be prepared kind
Yep.
of thing.
It's already been introduced. It hasn't passed
people are
House or
stockpiling.
Senate
People
yet.
are stockpiling hormones. Trans women are trying to get orchies, so they won't have to detransition if they don't get
Well,
the care they need.
so, when it comes to Gen X, they're either wanting to learn and trying to stay hip and understand things, or they just are the opposite, like their boomer parents, right?
They're digging their heels in. Yeah, they're digging their
Yeah.
heels in.
Yeah. So, but that being said, we have got a lot of Gen X allies that are in menopause, and I haven't taken any hormones since my hysterectomy. I had a hysterectomy in 2016, was in full menopause by 2018. I haven't required the use of hormones. However, I'm going to go and see my friendly neighborhood doctor, and I think
You can get them.
I might just need the exact dose that my daughter needs.
Damn.
So I'm going to try to get together with some of our other uh, some of our allies and other queer women that have that ability. Oh, one
So
last thing
I
that
could probably
because
do
my brain
that.
was scrambled. Um, shit, and it just went again. Oh, with insurance and explaining that if anybody has private insurance, getting them to cover a prescription oftentimes is its own act of Congress. So to get an insurance company to cover the cost of gender affirming care, it is because it is deemed medically necessary.
Yeah.
So
That's
we
the only
have
time the
the
insurance covers
parents.
that kind of
Yeah,
stuff too.
we have parents, we have a therapist, we have at least one primary physician, a plastic surgeon, and an insurance company that collectively have decided this is medically necessary. But you on the internet that's listened to Martha spout off or Manimal or something,
Martha,
y'all
you know what?
think we
I
know shit.
never want to see
I've
those
only
people ever
recently,
again.
I've only recently, like, oh, my version, the static, just, like, it can't. So, um, Martha, I've only recently, like, I don't like to think people are disgusting. The things she does, I've seen how they dogpile on
No,
trans.
she's bad.
It's so disgusting, though. Like that's that, like, and anyways, we don't need to talk about her. Nick, what's up?
Oh yeah, I just was scrolling and saw this. I just wanted to say you guys are disgusting.
Oh,
Bye. So
Nick,
are
I
you.
think your mama feels the same way about you, honey. I really do.
You guys are disgusting. They need to
Now that
Oh,
you
I hope
came in
you
here and
go
told us
walk
fucking
into a
free.
fire. I hope you
feel,
walk
we,
into a
we can
fire.
call it a day. You've just, that's what I needed.
I'm dishing it back out
I
to
was
people. Go
called
walk into a fucking fire.
perverted and disgusting today, and I had a great time. And I appreciate you guys. I really do.
You perv. You pervy old
And
dude.
I'm telling you, we are old enough. We are pro-verts.
We're perverts.
We've been at it for
Pro?
a while.
We're
Yes, pro.
perverts.
Yeah, they wouldn't like me either, so
I'm a
mind you.
pediatric version.
All
That's how
these
old I am.
people are horrible, though. I've noticed that everyone who disagrees with these backgrounds are either also racist or also against abortion. So they're either misogynistic or racist or both. So.
I was trying to think
But
of
it's cute how they took the abortion slogan to fight against the C-19 vaccine, though, right? My body, my choice. Then
Divergent. I want to tell you that I'm not as educated about all the terrible things going on in America, and so and and I think it's a deficiency of mine actually, and it has a lot to do with like if I don't understand something, I want to understand it, and then I also like I don't know. So like I'm getting a lot of information from you that when I hear it, I'm like I should know this stuff too. So I just wanted to thank you for your input. Um, yeah, because
you're
there's
welcome. Like I said, part of it is I cannot, and it's not just about things like this, right? I have to notice all of the things around me, and because of the way my brain is wired, pattern recognition, and there's a lot of systems in place to do this. I give my wife tiny bites because she just gets overwhelmed, and there is no solution.
I don't know. McLean, I think they're probably a troll. I don't know. I'm going to end the live soon. Did you want to say something really kind and pleasant? I'd love that.
Kind and pleasant.
Yeah.
I would like to bless everyone a good day, but I really want to wonder, why do you believe so strongly in gender affirming care for minors?
Well, I want to tell you what I believe in. What I believe in most strongly is that it's not voters' rights who don't have any medical education, that don't know anyone devastated by dysphoria, that don't understand what's going on. It's not their right to tell medicine how to practice medicine, and it's not their right to tell other people how to raise their kids. That's a slippery slope, and that's un-American. So I'm not telling you what kind of health care to get for your kid. You don't get to go around and tell other people what kind of health care they get for their kids. That's my
But
point.
it's not exactly healthcare, is it?
Dude, therapy is gender affirming care. Therapy is healthcare. Okay.
McLean, you came up as I was discussing how difficult it is to get insurance to cover things. And gender affirming care is covered by health insurance.
Here, I'm going to read this for you in case you have a small phone, McLean. This says, and this is from the Mayo Clinic, gender affirming care is medically necessary, safe health care backed by decades of research and supported by every major medical association. 1.3 million US doctors are represented by these associations that believe this is medically necessary, safe health care. So you know what? You said it's not really healthcare. You're the problem. You're the guy that doesn't know about the healthcare, that feels so strongly about other people taking care of their children, that you want to come on this line and ask me why I care about it. I want to know why you care about it.
That headline is literally just saying it is necessary and safe, doesn't explain why, and then just says a bunch of doctors agree with it. But
who said
there
it,
are
Michael?
doctors that are technically quote unquote doctors. I'm not done.
Mute him, guys.
I'm not done.
Please, mute him.
Are you against therapy?
Hey, I didn't say this. This is Mayo Clinic. You're some hillbilly in Australia. It's a terrible little island. This is the Mayo Clinic. They're the ones that have all the research. They didn't just pull this out of the sky. Every major medical association, not just one or two, 1.3 million doctors. You think 1.3 million doctors are going to want to sign up to hurt children? You're not thinking critically. You're a conspiracy theorist. You're got something going on, sweetheart. Stop eating kangaroo. Stop eating the kangaroo.
I mean, you were literally worried about that paragraph being too small on the phone to read. Apparently, he wants an entire research paper.
The Mayo Clinic.
Well, apparently you guys can't handle anyone that has a differing opinion from you.
No, McLean. So when you go into someone's house, you respect them, or you show them respect, and you don't speak over the host.
McLean,
I am not a power hungry. I am not a power hungry mod.
Hey,
but I will mute you if you're speaking over the host.
Okay. McLean, did you say I can't handle you? Rest assured, sweetheart. I can handle you. I handle men like you all the time, and they love it. They love it. I hope you have a nice day in Australia, and I hope your family's doing well. Thanks for your terrible opinion. I'm glad you're over there.
Bless you.
Likewise. Hey, guys, I'm gonna get something to snack on. I'll go live maybe tomorrow morning after I have a walk and feed my kitty. I love you both. Bye, everyone.
See ya. Good night.
Bye.